So Tom, what do we got here?
Well, we're in the studio, and what we're going to do is demonstrate a product called Stone. And I'm new to the product, so what I did is I modeled a small piece specifically for this, and did a quick mold with silicone that you would buy from a hardware store with a caulking gun. Backed it with a little bit of clay, so it has a little bit of support structure with it. And we're just going to estimate the amount of material to show the ease of use and what we can do with it. The clay here, we can weigh it and get an estimate of what we're going to be looking at as far as pounds go and everything. And so
here's the clay, here's the silicone over here.
Right. So that's
and you can get that at a hardware store. And where do you get the clay at?
Any craft store, Michael's, any place you want to go for that. For art store, Complete Sculptor, wherever.
And you made, sorry, real quick, you made that by your,
yes, I just did this on a Friday, did the mold Saturday, and we're going to pour it today.
All right.
So it's a quick, easy 3-step process there. Stone is a new product for me. It looks great. It's supposed to make everything look like it's stone, and you can see from samples here that it looks pretty good. It looks pretty real. I mean, that looks like stone. I've done stone carving before, so I'm pretty satisfied with the look I've seen with the samples. And what I'm going to do with this is make it a little bit more rustic to fit more of the character of a particular piece that I have in mind. And so,
what do you have in mind exactly?
Well, I do a small head and then make it look like a fragment, so to speak, where it has a little bit of chips, a little bit of dings in it, but at the same time it picks up a little bit of the residue from the clay left in the mold.
To give it that authentic stone look.
To give it that aged look, what's called antiquing or rustication to the stone look.
All right.
And like I said, the product seems pretty easy. It's a quick step you could even do on your kitchen table. And so what I've done is estimate. What we're going to do is be using about half this container here, which is the dry mix. Okay, it's the white Carrara marble. We have the small liquid catalyst. And to make it so it's a little bit more liquid to pour into the mold, so it doesn't set up too tight, we have another retarding agent to add to the catalyst. And what we do is we mix the catalyst with the retarding agent first, then we mix this with it, and stir it up and then pour.
Now, what is the importance of the steps as far as mixing those two agents together first and then this? That's the order that you have to do it in?
Well, yes, basically. If you keep it within a specific order, what it does is it doesn't set up automatically. If you were to mix this with the Carrara stone right away, it would start setting up. This allows it to have a little bit more freedom, so you can mix it more thoroughly and gives it a little bit more ease of pour, brush it into areas if need be, and give it a face coat if you'd like, and it ends up giving you, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes more to work with it. Well, which can be quite handy at times.
Yeah. A little leeway for.
Well, you need a little leeway. Otherwise, if you're mixing it and then you have to pour it immediately like that, say your mold fell over or something like that, or you get a leak with it and you need to plug it, which happens on rare occasions with artists and hobbyists.
It would happen all the time with me.
But that kind of thing does happen. But they're easy to correct. This gives you that little leeway time to work with it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is. I just want to feel that that's the clay, and this is the. They use this
silicone
as a sealant, right?
Yeah, it's a silicone rubber compound. And this is just more clay to give the rubber compound some stability, so it doesn't flop around when I pour the material in it. And so let's give Stone a try here, okay?
All right, let's do it. So where do we start?
Well, let's start by pouring a little bit of the liquid catalyst into the container here. Open it up. We're going to use about half of this, which will be about 1.5 to 2 pounds altogether when we're mixing it. And I am basically going to eye this, okay? I could.
All right.
That should be about half there.
And this is the liquid catalyst, so this is what kind of gets everything going.
This is what gets it going. This is what creates the chemical reaction, so that they have a chemical bonding with the stone. Now, this is the retarding agent we won't be using in future boxes because it's all going to be mixed in with the powder.
Great.
So to make sure I have half of this, I am going to pour all of it in here.
Okay.
So I can get a better accurate measurement, and then just eye a little bit here.
It's the way I cook.
Well, it's the way most artists want to cook as well, quite honestly. And they, you can have all the scales, you can have everything you need, but artists have a tendency to want to eye things. They're visual, and that's the way they like to. Now let's mix this together a little bit.
Complete precision isn't the
No,
absolute
no, it's
vital.
not
Okay.
not absolutely vital, but it is important to pay attention to what you're doing.
Okay,
Okay.
good
And
to
what I'm
know.
doing is just stirring this up so that make sure that all fits together nicely. Now we're going to use about half of the powder here.
All right.
Okay. That's carefully. Okay. Notice
You
I'm
can-
using the dry end
Yeah.
to
Now, what is this powder exactly? Is made up of stone and what else?
Well, that's the secret ingredient. It's made up of stone and other things. I'm not quite sure what else is in there,
Yeah.
but I know it has Carrara stone mixed in with it, which is a beautiful, powdered marble from Italy,
Okay.
from the northern part of Italy near Pisa.
And this is the result of it. It looks exactly like stone here, very beautiful, but much easier to use, right?
Well, yes, much easier. I mean, stone is a subtractive material, so you're having to cut and carve, and it takes a little bit longer. This is a casting material that creates something that's very, very similar. It could also be used to patch stone carvings as well, with a little bit of color added to it at times. You can, I would say,
Oh.
that should do it, yeah. There we go.
Okay, so about half of that. Let's
Mhm.
look at this. I'll make sure that you're doing your art job right now.
Estimating approximately. Now I'm going to.
Perfect. Okay, so we got half of that in there. Okay.
Okay,
let's
now
put
I'm
that
mixing
over
it
there.
together here.
All right.
And you can see how it's starting to mix very readily here. You can feel it almost like a grains of sand on a beach.
Immediately mixes
Yeah.
right in. Beautiful.
Mixes right in.
No problem.
You want to make sure you scrape it from the sides, the bottom. Thoroughly mix it.
Yeah.
Get bubbles out of it.
Yeah, so right away, I mean, right off the bat, it looks like it just mixes and blends pretty easily. No problems. You put in the catalyst, you put in the powder, and mix it right up and put it in.
It,
And
it really can't get any easier, quite
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, this is about as simple as it gets for sculpture.
yeah,
Okay,
pretty mess-free too.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So next you're gonna.
Next, I'm just getting ready. I'm just
Okay.
going to pour it in here. Now, what I have is a little brush here too that I can use to kind of push it into areas, the little crevices and stuff. And so as I'm pouring it in, I'm pushing the material into the area so I don't have air bubbles and air pockets in it.
Okay.
And I would say that was a pretty good estimate as far as the amount that we needed to use here.
Yeah, nice job.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Not too much.
Alright.
Okay. I want to give it a little bit less in here. Okay, now I'm going to set this aside. Now what you want to do is basically just kind of give it a little bit of vibration here so that it works all the air bubbles up to the top, which is pretty standard for any kind of plaster or gypsum material that you might cast in as well. Because you can see how the air bubbles are popping up to the top here. It just takes a little bit of vibration. That's it. You want to make sure that it's level. Okay, as you can see, it's already starting to set. 5 minutes later, and
Wow.
it's looking great. It's like I said, tomorrow. Can't wait to see it and see what I have. See what I have here.
Now I notice I'm not even smelling anything. Is there no smell? Can I take this real quick and check that out? Yeah, I don't smell a thing.
Yeah, see, it's great.
Odorless?
Oh,
Completely?
I wish I had this when I was younger. Trust me, I still have a sense of smell when it comes to stuff. But no, it's not. No smell, no toxicity whatsoever. It's unlike using resins and plasters, which are actually much dustier and dirtier. This stuff seems to settle very nicely without that excess mess. And the resins, I mean, you smell it through the house or through the studio for 2 or 3 days afterwards. This nothing.
Yeah, you talked
That's
about
fantastic.
how you never used those masks when you were younger and had all kinds of respiratory problems. I mean, now you don't even need a mask or anything.
No,
You
and
can be
no
young and rebellious.
I can be young and rebellious again. Thank you.
Oh, right.
I like that.
Beautiful.
But no, this is great. It's the simplicity of these gets better and better.
Now, how long exactly does this take to demold?
Well, for easy molds like this particular piece, you should probably wait about 8 hours for it to vitrify and solidify a bit more. For more complex molds, like with the fish here, where it's a two-part piece, you want to wait the full 24 hours before you demold it. Because that way, you know, if you have any special details or stuff like that, the mold is not going to break it off, or it won't be soft in the ears. And this stuff is, like I said, it's pretty durable. I mean, I've seen different samples that are here, and they really look tight and solid for me.
Right.
And so this is going to take about, like I said, at this point, we can't do any more with it. We're going to let it sit.
Now let's talk about that for a second. There's no heating involved, nothing that you have to do. You just kind of let it sit and then take it out?
No heating, no baking, nothing. You just let it sit. You can cover it so that it you know, stays clean and nothing gets into the mold as well. And we'll do that with a little plastic bag of some sort. But basically, we're done. It's really that easy,
Wow.
you know, to do this piece. I mean, no mess, nothing.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I can even do this at my girlfriend's house.
Wonderful.
On her kitchen table without worrying about anything whatsoever. And,
while she's eating breakfast, no
yeah,
less.
and I know growing up as you know in high school and in college, you know, living at homes, my mother certainly would have appreciated something that with this much ease and flexibility, so that it didn't make a mess on her kitchen.
So tell me about these different colors here. We have the gray granite here, the white marble. What are all these, and what are the differences in making them?
Well, basically, what I've found out is they have different aggregates which can give it the different colors. But with the white Carrara marble, you can add different powders to it, like iron oxides, different powders of greens and blues. And
what does that do?
It just gives it a tinted color, so that so you can have different forms of colors. You know, marble comes in pinks, blues, greens, whites with ribbons of stripes going through it, and you can create that effect with this. Right now, we're just sticking with something very, very plain to start with, but at this point you can add whatever color you like later on, and it doesn't give you, it depends on how much color you add to it. You don't want to add too much, but at the same time you want it to give that real marble look, which has that effervescent quality to it. The effervescence is what
it is quite effervescent, I
that's
must
what
say.
you get when you polish up marble and look at it nicely. And then after this sets up, we can put a type of texturing sealer on it, where it could either seal it so it's not as porous. You know, when it's porous, you can even stain it a little bit if you like, and the stain will go into the pores of the stone like real stone. And then you can seal it so that you can't do that anymore, and it keeps its luster and keeps its polish.
So tell us about the gray granite then. What is the difference with that?
Well, this is an older, it's sort of the what I call right now is the old Stone, which used to have to be baked, but we no longer have to do that with the white, and you can get the same results with the white. And so this is the newest aspect of it right here that we're working with.
Well, tell us about this for a minute. Now, what is the difference when you have to bake this? Is that a long process?
No, it's basically anywhere between 160 and 180 degrees in your oven. It takes about 3 hours altogether in most cases. And it works well, but most of us are in this fast, immediate world that we live in today. We want to be able to just pour, walk away, pick it up later.
Yeah.
And so, but this works perfectly fine. It looks great. It just you don't have to add anything else to it. That's it. You're done with it with the granite.
Yeah. So pretty much with the white marble, you mix, you pour, you're done. With the gray granite, you mix, you pour, you bake, you're done. So all very easy, very simple. Like I said, we're going to eat some cereal on here right when we're done. So
it's really very simple
here.
And I expected this to be a little bit more complex, but it's not really. It's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
And I've been doing sculpture for 30 years, and I like the way this stuff feels. It feels like stone. It looks like stone. When I pop this out tomorrow, I'll be able to look at it. I'll be able to antique it a little bit. I'll be able to go into it with some tools and chisel it. Create little fragments. Inside the areas of it as well. And so for me, it's like, okay, here's the first step, second step. The third step is just a little bit of touch up and finish.
And so tomorrow we're going to come back and then we're going to antique it, and I can't wait to find out what antiquing is. So.
Well, I'm not going to do a lot of antiquing, but I'll just look at it, and if somebody wants to know, I'll quick demonstration. My guess is all that could be done in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
so I guess we're pretty much done here.
We're
I guess
done.
we're just going to wait. All right. Can't wait to see what comes out.